In this video, we will be taking an in-depth dive into the horror movie and TV show Easter eggs that are in my favorite game, 7 Days to Die. The first one that I ever noticed can be found under the Fortitude attribute, and it is a recovery perk. Rule 1, cardio. From
Zombieland. Rule number 1, cardio.
Now the next two are purely speculative, but I think they're worth mentioning because of how familiar they look. First is our beloved dead man's best friend, the zombie dog. This rotting Doberman Pinscher bears an uncanny resemblance to the most famous zombie dog that I know of from the Resident Evil series.
I'll leave the dogs away.
Now up next is the sexiest zombie in the game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know her. You love her. It's Big Mama. Look at her. Strutting her stuff, making you sweat. I would not be surprised to find out that she was inspired by this zombie from Dawn of the Dead 2004. But you might say, Big Mama's wearing a blue dress. That zombie's in a white dress. Well, ha ha ha! The original Big Mama was in a white dress. Case dismissed! Now, this next tidbit of information was revealed to me recently by one of the moderators of the official 7 Days to Die forums. The disturbed tourist zombie, this big fat bastard, was directly inspired by the Well Walker from The Walking Dead.
Looks like we got us a swimmer.
But now let's get down to the nitty and the gritty. The pièce de résistance, for those that speak Italian. For us to explore this next batch of Easter eggs, we're gonna need a time machine. So with some mechanical parts and a little duct tape, I built myself one, and here it is. Let us go into the past, the year 1960. And here we are, from Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 classic, Psycho. This is the Fates Motel. They could have called it the Bates Motel, but, you know, who wants to get sued? Oh, is that Marion Crane coming at me right now? Anyway, one thing you notice is if you compare this to the Bates Motel from the movie, the house is right next to the motel. Whereas in the movie, the house is back further and up on a hill. So for whatever reason, the Fun Pimps had to do it like this. Maybe it was to avoid being too much of a copy, or maybe it made it easier for them to make it a questable POI. But let us see what's inside. Well, we can't go in there. The layout of the rooms is very much different from the movie. You can see that the shower is not set up accurately because in the movie, the shower is opposite the door. So the shower would have to be over here, not here. But this is Norman Bates's back room. And this is the office. Again, it's very different from the movie. Now, another thing that's very popular about Psycho is the peeping Tom aspect of Norman Bates. Now, I would imagine due to the blocks that are available in the game, there's no way that they could have made a peephole, like a tiny little eye hole, because there's no shape that has a hole like that. What they did to replicate that, besides this big hole where the painting was this. You go up here, and you can get your creep on by looking down from the air vents into each room. Look. Oh, I'm peeping on a spider zombie right there. I'm a dirty zombie peeper. Oops. Who's in here? Nobody. And there's a little bit of secret loot at the end over here. Now, another omission. I do remember the ice machine being important in one of the Psycho movies. And they did not add one. There's the vending machines. Now, the game does have an ice machine, but they did not include it. Here's another interesting thing. This is the lake where Norman would hide the bodies. And you see the car. This is from the movie. And then there's multiple cars. These are all victims of Norman Bates. And there's a zombie. See, one of them became a zombie. See that? This is one of Norman's victims. He doesn't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna die. Stop it. There we go. Now let us go into the infamous house. Now I'm gonna enter the house in the way that you're supposed to enter when you're playing the game. What's this? It's Bo Central today. You go through Marion's room, through the bathroom. I think that's Marion, without the blonde hair. And then you go into this little cave. This is not part of the movie, as far as I know. I'm not aware of there being a casket thing going on in the movies. I asked my friend, who is more of a Psycho fan, and he is not aware of caskets either. But, oh yeah. But you go through this cave thing, tunnel, underground tunnel, into the basement of the house. All right. Now we are in the basement of the house, where zombies came out and killed everyone in the movie Psycho. This is where the famous light swinging scene would have taken place. And Norman's mother, the corpse, I guess would have been right here. Now the light here is a little bit too high because she hits it with her hand, the light, and it starts to swing. I'm not familiar with this. Now let us go into the house. This was not part of the movie. This is the kitchen. Oh yeah, see, she agrees. I haven't used guns in a while, my shots are off. This is the kitchen, and one of my favorite scenes in horror movies happens in this kitchen.
You're sure you won't have a sandwich?
Dad?
All right, let us go upstairs. I believe this is Norman's mother's room. This is the end loot room. Again, I'm not all that familiar with Psycho, so I don't remember attic situation going on. And then this is another thing I'm not familiar with. The caskets in the house. I think this just is something they added in the game. But if anybody is aware, please let me know if there's something that I'm missing. And this is where you drop down, which we've seen already. And these are the stairs where Norman comes to say hello to the guy. He gets surprised. He accidentally falls. The camera stays locked in on him like this and dies. And here you have it. The Bates/Fates Motel here in 7 Days to Die. And we are off to another time and place. Now we're in 1983, standing at what is to be the infamous bridge that leads to the Knowbly Cabin in the movie Evil Dead. Now, this bridge does not accurately represent the bridge from Evil Dead because in that movie, the bridge gets turned into an iron-looking claw thing. But the fun pimps... Whoops. Whoa. Well, we're getting closer, though. Holy sh... The fun pimps partially destroyed the bridge to give it that look and feel. And this is the road that leads to the cabin. Now you can go check out my video where I did a Horde Night in this cabin. It's called Horde Night in the Evil Dead Cabin. Very clever name. All right, let us look, let us absorb. So this is pretty good. Like, they did a really good job. This is supposed to be the porch swing that slams up against the wall. And here, the layout is nearly 100% accurate. This is where the deer head is supposed to go. Maybe in future updates, they will add a decorative deer head so you can put it on the wall here and have a more accurate Evil Dead experience. This is the chair that Ash goes crazy in part 2. This should be one block lower. I wonder why it's up there, but this is the mirror that Ash has a conversation with himself, and then, well, you'll see.
I don't think so.
This is the infamous hatch leading to the basement where Henrietta lives. Here is the couch that Ash and Linda sit on in part 1, where he gives her the necklace. Here is where the book and tape recorder were discovered in part 2. Now, this is not the Book of the Dead. None of these are the Book of the Dead. This is way less interesting than the Book of the Dead, whatever I just picked up. And this is whatever the hell this is, but this is one of the things that clued me in. Now, when I first discovered this, I was in here standing in the kitchen, and for some reason it didn't dawn on me that this was the Evil Dead cabin. But things started to look familiar. I was like, this layout is really interesting. And then I was thinking, if I open this door and turn to the right and see a piano, I'm probably going to freak out. And I freaked out. I was screaming. I was doing backflips into traffic. I could not believe that this was the Evil Dead cabin. I believe this is Cheryl's room. One of these rooms is Cheryl's, where the glass is broken in and they pulled her out into the woods. Well, no, she went out to explore.
Is anybody out there?
What's cool is that for Evil Dead the game, they did an amazing job replicating every aspect of the cabin, as well as other things from the movies and show. They did an incredible job. That game looks amazing. But one thing you did not get was the ability to go into the wall like this, like Ash did. But you can in 7 Days to Die. Now, the upstairs is very accurate. Very, very accurate. Why do I keep picking things up? I'm not even playing. The upstairs is very accurate. The basement, not so much. Let me shut this light. This is possibly a representation of the blood-filled light from the movie. This is close. This is the hatch, the Henrietta hatch. I believe the steps go this way in the movie. The steps go this way in the movie. Yeah, when he opens it up, he goes in this direction, and this wall would be pushed further back. So they took liberties in building the basement. Again, the basement and the cabin were in two different filming locations. The cabin was in Kentucky, but has since burned down. The basement was filmed in Michigan. In real life, the cabin didn't even have a basement. In part 2, the whole thing was a set. So the Fun Pimps had to adjust things to make it fit. But this is pretty good. This would also be the light in question that had blood filling into it. That was the oddest motion I've ever seen from a zombie. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. This definitely keeps it in the Evil Dead vibe perfectly for me. But this would be, I guess, where the table is that they find the book in part 1. And this is where the posters are. The Hills Have Eyes poster, which led Wes Craven to put the trailer for Evil Dead, the TV trailer, in Nightmare on Elm Street. And now there's one more thing. The shed. This was another thing that solidified it for me. This also has a red light. Now, this light wasn't filled with blood. It just got covered in it. This is the table, the workbench, workshed that Ash cut up his girlfriend on. Put her head in the vise, talk to her.
You're going down.
And then chainsawed her to death. And this is where the Freddy Krueger glove would have gone. I wish the Fun Pimps did something like that. Because after Wes Craven put Evil Dead in A Nightmare on Elm Street, in Evil Dead 2, Sam Raimi put a Freddy Krueger glove in the workshed. And that is the Evil Dead cabin. Let's shut the door. Have some respect. Excellent, excellent. This is... I love this game. I love this game. I love that they do this. I love that they do this. But we're not done. We got to go a little bit further into the future. We're going to 1984. And we're here. June of 1984. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of doing an intro. This is the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Get out of here! Now, This is also a real building in real life. This is in New York. It is on the corner of Varick and North Moore. It is Hook and Ladder 8. The exterior was filmed in New York. The interior was filmed in Los Angeles. Those are both real firehouses used. Now, in the game, the only thing that is accurate, or as close to accurate as possible, is the exterior. The interior is not representative of either the Hook and Ladder 8 firehouse or the Los Angeles firehouse used. Hold on. Let's just cheat a little. Nope. This is kind of reminiscent. Actually, it looks nothing like it. Both the firehouses, LA and New York, they're all wide open. There's no wall like this. I mean, it feels like a firehouse at least. You got the pole here, but it really isn't what it looks like in the movie though. This truck is here. Let's get rid of the truck. Whoops. Can you stop? You're gonna mess up the Ghostbusters. I've never seen a zombie do that before. Why is it getting so busy? Does everyone want to see the Ghostbusters house? Anyway, there was not a rear exit in the Ghostbusters firehouse. What is this? I don't understand. I'm trying to... showing off a property to my clients! I gotta deal with this. Hold on. Now, if you were to go to Los Angeles to look at the real interior, you would probably need an M60 as well. It's in a very dangerous neighborhood.
The neighborhood is like a demilitarized zone.
Hey, does this pole still work?
Wow.
We can explore it though. Again, I don't see any linking to the interior of either real firehouse. This is, I guess, where the Ghostbusters would have slept. I guess this is where they... Whoops. The couch messed me up. I guess this is where they ate the Chinese food, which cost them the rest of their money.
This magnificent feast here represents the last of the petty cash.
I don't remember a rope in Ghostbusters, but whatever. This is where the Ghostbusters did not work out because they were not very athletic in any way at all.
Suck in the guts, guys, with the Ghostbusters.
This is really just a general firehouse. I don't see much of an attempt, or if any attempt at all, to make the interior look like anything from the Ghostbusters. The exterior, though, is excellent. Excellent, excellent. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I just want to do a demonstration. Look at this guy. Who's that, Homer Simpson? I've never seen that before. This is where the roof explodes at the end of the movie, before the big battle and everything with Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And there we have it. The Ghostbusters Firehouse. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Let's, again, whoops, I blew the door off, so I can't pay any respects. Into something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! here we are, a little bit further into 1984. We just left June of 1984, and now we are in November of 1984. Or maybe it's 1987. Ladies and gentlemen, the address is 1428. The street, Elm Street. We are at the Nightmare on Elm Street house. That is so good. They did an amazing job. Now, I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite movie series, horror or otherwise. This is not exactly part one. This is not part one's house. So that's why I said 84, 87. This is, from what I can tell, the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 house. The house in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, the door was blue. In Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the door turned red, and they kept it red from there. Again, this is another actual location in real life. This is in Los Angeles. This is in Hollywood. I have visited it a number of times. Every time I'm in the general area, I will go check it out, pay my respects. And this is a real house. Now, another thing similar to the basement in Evil Dead, the exterior is real, but the interior in all the movies was set. So the Fun Pimps had a challenging situation in making all the things that are known from the movie fit in this shell of the outside of the house. And they did. As a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm telling you, they did an amazing job. This house is incredible. Now, so there are something, they had to get creative. They had to get creative. This is the, who's making noise? Hold on. Let's clear this out. I need to. Who's that? Oh, it's too busy. Maybe I should kill these zombies first. Everett McGill getting in my way. We'll go down there in a second. Well, let's ignore that one wherever she is. So this is the living room. This was seen in part one, obviously. The mother was sleeping down here when Nancy came to get the key to get out of the house.
Give me the key, Mother. I can't. I don't even have it on me, see?
The bird scene in part 2 happens in the living room, and this is, you'll see that the couch is supposed to be this way. Here's another thing that looks amazing to me. This is just amazing. It's simple, but amazing. The kitchen. This is the kitchen where Marge from part 1, Nancy's mother, hides the hat in here, and they have that argument. And she's like, well, let me take that bottle and veg out with you. Screw sleep! Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. This is great. This is great. They did an amazing job. Let us go upstairs. So, in part 1, these are white. And this is the infamous scene where her feet get caught in the stairs when Freddy's chasing her in the dream. This is the bathroom where Nancy is taking the bath and Freddy's glove comes up. This is a representation of Jesse's sister's room in part 2, where he becomes possessed by Freddy, and he goes into the sister's room, and I guess Freddy was going to try to have him kill her. It's not 100% accurate to the movie, because the bed would have been bigger and in the middle of the room, but an amazing job bringing the sister's bedroom to life. This is the closet that Marge was hiding her liquor in part 1. This is Marge's room. Again, not 100% accurate, but pretty darn close. pretty darn close. The door would be in a different position. The bed would be in a different position. This is Nancy's room, and it's not 100% accurate. It's very close, and they could have done it more accurately. All they could have done is put a table here and a coffee pot somewhere would have been great, but you have the option of doing it yourself, which I've done in a previous save. Whoops, okay, I guess we're going into this room. This room is reminiscent of the room in part 3 when Kristen is having the dream and there's a rotten stuffed pig on the table and it comes to life and barks at her. And I've seen in gameplay footage from older versions, from like Alpha 19, that when you first come to the house, there is a sleeping hog here. So that's why I'm pretty sure that's what the Fun Pimps are going for. This is the room that has the pig that wakes up and scares Kristen. Now, this I couldn't figure out. Oh, this guy, they broke the door in. Whoops. This I couldn't figure out. I didn't understand what this room was because there's no room in the house that looks like this in the movies. But then I was streaming and my friend Bucks Ton was watching, who is also an obsessive Nightmare on Elm Street fan. And he brought to my attention that what they were probably going for, the Fun Pimps, was the room that in Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare, when Spencer is smoking weed and passes out, Freddy goes, "Hey, Spence,
let's trip out." Hey, Double G, look, all the little piggies come home.
Oh my God! Oh, I fell asleep. Can't believe it. Oh my God. This is Nancy's bathroom, which I don't remember ever seeing in the movie, but whew. Let's go down into the basement. Where's my pickaxe? All right, let us go down into the basement. Again, more amazing work done by the Fun Pimps down here. So, again, what they had to do is piece together different aspects from the house from different movies, and they just did so good. They did so good. Why is this so busy here? You're breaking Freddy's house. That's not cool. I guess we'll go this way. So, this is... He kind of looks like Freddy. So this is the area of the basement. This is most reminiscent of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, when Jesse's having a dream and Freddy pops out from behind the boiler or heater, or I don't know what that's called, and furnace. And, he tells Jesse, "Kill for me." But before that, Jesse was upstairs and peeked down through here. Now you can't really see, and it was a vertical window in the movie, but this is where Jesse would have peeked down to see that Freddy was pulling arms and other body parts out of the furnace. The layout of the basement is not exactly like any of the movies, but it is very, very close. Again, sets versus reality. So they had to squeeze the interior of this house in every aspect into the frame of a real house. Come in. Okay, so this part of the house, the only thing that I can think of is that this is more Freddy's Dead stuff. This is reminiscent of the room where in Freddy's Dead, the daughter, Catherine, comes down and finds Freddy's gloves, her father's gloves. this is what I'm thinking. Because this part reminds me when she runs out into the backyard. They don't really show the backyard in any of the movies, and I'm not too sure if they were in Freddy's Dead trying to say that Freddy and his family lived in 1428 Elm Street. But I think this is what they're going for with this. We come up here, this is where Catherine comes up, she sees Freddy and her mother having a discussion that, gets a little heated. And that's that. Every other aspect of the backyard is, as far as I can remember, with the exception of this, has no resemblance to any other movie besides Freddy's Dead. I don't think I missed anything. And so we have it. Let me close that door. Again, we gotta show respect. 1428 Elm Street. The Nightmare on Elm Street house. Now, if you would like to visit these houses directly, this is how you do it. You press F1. You go into the debug mode. Press escape to get out of that. Then press escape again. And then open the POI Teleporter. Now here you will need to know the name of the POI in particular, not the name that you see in the game. Like the Freddy house is called the Bert Englund house, which is a play on the name Robert Englund. So what you need to do is you need to find this more technical name. So I have linked in the description the prefab list for Alpha 21. And if you search through there, you can find the names of these houses and these more technical names. So let's find the Fates Motel real quick. Let me open up my document. It is called House Old Mansard 6. Okay. House _ old _ Mansard. Where is that? 6, right there. And we are here at the Fates Motel. This is the one that's in the random generated map. It's not... Excuse me, I'm speaking. This is not in the desert. Let's see if the Evil Dead cabin is here. That is called Cabin 10, I think. Cabin... yes, it's here. And there we go. The Evil Dead cabin is near the desert. This is a random generated map. The Nightmare on Elm Street house and the Ghostbusters firehouse do not spawn on Naviskane. Everything spawns in random generated or prefab maps. Let's see if there's another Nightmare on Elm Street house. Let's see if there's duplicates. House Old Gambrel 4. House Old Gambrel, whatever that means. So, no, we only have one. We only have one. Oh. Wait, no. Oh, okay, not everything spawned. Okay. I have the list of the names for all these buildings in the description, along with the link to the prefab list of all the POIs in the game, or POIs, which is how my text-to-speech likes to say it. With that, I'm out. Watch this video, and look out for me on Twitch, and take care. Brush your hair.